In the last part, Vegeta makes a deal with Piccolo at the World Martial Arts Tournament to get Goku to reach Super Saiyan as part of their training. Goku does so at the loss of Krillin and defeats Piccolo with it. 5 years later, Goku, Vegeta, and Broly all get married and have some kids too. Raditz shows up, but seeing that his brother has a family on Earth, he leaves him be. In this part, the Z Fighters encounter the androids after a long break, so let's continue. Raditz comes back to the new planet Sadala and goes to his father Bardock. He says that Kakarot actually has a family there and also knows Super Saiyan much like them. Bardock is amazed at both of those inquiries and so just tells Raditz to go and watch over his little brother, just in case. Raditz, annoyed, goes to his space pod and then goes back to Earth. In the meantime, Goku, Vegeta, and Broly are all at Capsule Corp, with Vegeta wondering how did Raditz get Super Saiyan out of all people. But before he gets into any more detail, the space pod eventually arrives again, but this time right in front of Capsule Corp as Raditz gets out and then tells Goku that he's gonna stay here and watch over him for a while. Goku doesn't really have any concerns about it, but Vegeta does, wondering on how in the actual hell did Raditz get a Super Saiyan transformation, and so goes to seek answers from him. Vegeta goes up to Raditz and asks him, and so Raditz shares a story. Raditz says that shortly after Planet Vegeta was renamed, Bardock, as he had all the resources to train on disposal, decided to train up. Shortly after, Cooler came by, saying that the Saiyans have to pay a price for killing off his father and brother. Bardock was kind of confused but still engaged in battle, and he was heavily overpowered by Cooler. Bardock, in a last-ditch effort, decided to go full power and then even further beyond to power up his last attack, but it did nothing. So as it is in Cooler's nature, he decided to get rid of Gine, killing her. And so with that little death, Bardock became mad. And so he went Super Saiyan for the very first time and decided to defeat Cooler. Cooler was dead and Bardock unlocked a Super Saiyan transformation, and then decided that he would train it and hone it so that he can access it at will. Once he did, he trained Raditz and the rest of the Saiyans in order to get their own Super Saiyan transformations. Some of them were still evil a little bit, so they had a harder time accessing the form. But in the essence, the entire Saiyan race now has the Super Saiyan form, thanks to Bardock. Vegeta is actually fucking amazed that all of this happened in his absence and on his time on Earth. Jokingly, Vegeta now says that since he's no longer a prince, he has to call Raditz Prince Raditz, to which Raditz replies that no, he is a prince, but he doesn't require a title to be one. But he will still call Vegeta Prince Vegeta due to his old title. Vegeta is fine with that, and so Raditz starts living on Earth along with the three of the Saiyans. After 3 years, the entirety of the Earth is at peace. Goku, Broly, Vegeta, and Raditz are all training, and Vegeta taught them how to go Super Saiyan 2 at will so that they do not have any issues battling the androids. He knows that at some point Trunks will arrive, his son, from the future, and that he will tell them exactly what happens in the future timeline. But considering Frieza and King Cold are killed, future Trunks has to come in the different way. So, in no time, future Trunks knocks on Capsule Corp's door and asks for Vegeta. Vegeta comes down in his gi, all sweaty from his last training, and so he notices that it's future Trunks, and so goes to greet him. Future Trunks has no real idea on how does he know that he's gonna come here, but Vegeta completely destroys the argument and then says that he already knows, reciting the date, time, and who will arrive. Future Trunks is amazed and wonders if that is Vegeta from his timeline, but Vegeta says no, he isn't from this timeline, but he's close enough. Vegeta also says that they do not need info, but they do need the antidote in case of the heart virus. Future Trunks is amazed that his father already knows all that information and so just gives his father the antidote for the heart virus, and then he is about to go away, but then Vegeta invites him for a coffee, and so Future Trunks stays a little while longer. On a coffee break, Vegeta briefly explains to Future Trunks who he is and from which timeline he is. Future Trunks is amazed at that story and is wondering how the timelines actually work. If it's maybe just a continuous stream, or maybe just a bunch of universes all in the same place. Kind of like a multiverse of timelines. Vegeta says that it's a multiverse theory and then goes on to explain it. Future Trunks now knows that the future will not be changed and that he will return back to a future which is still damaged. Vegeta apologizes for being the bearer of bad news, but he tells Future Trunks that in no time he will also have the power to defeat Cell and all the androids. Future Trunks inquires on Cell, but Vegeta says not to worry about him and just to go back to his timeline. Future Trunks does so, and so Vegeta starts preparing for the next 3 years. During those 3 years, no one really trained as much. They all trained to maintain their power and not to grow it out, and so they didn't really do much considering that the planet was already safe as is, but Vegeta kept his mouth shut, knowing that he could easily defeat Cell and all of the androids all on his own. And so, in no time, they got a distress call in South City, saying that 2 people are starting to destroy the buildings and people. Vegeta knows exactly the time and place, and so he guides the Z fighters over to the place of battle. Over at the outskirts, Vegeta says to split up even though he knows the approximate location of the androids, and so he follows Yamcha until they find Yamcha and start throwing him apart. However, Vegeta comes by and destroys both of the androids, leaving Yamcha to be barely alive, giving him a sense to be. Vegeta, even though he keeps all of the secrets, Yamcha still seen him completely obliterating the androids in his base form. All while the rest of the Z fighters had to use their Super Saiyan transformations, even with Broly. And so, Vegeta tells Yamcha to keep his mouth shut as to not destroy the bond between the Saiyans and him. And so, Yamcha shuts the fuck up. Vegeta then tells Yamcha that the androids they were looking for were not these, but actually they're over at Dr. Gero's secret lab. And so, when the rest of the Z fighters arrive, they all go to Gero's secret lab. Over there, Future Trunks also arrives, asking if the threat is eliminated. Vegeta says not to worry as the threats haven't been eliminated yet, however, he has a very good plan. He yoinks Future Trunks' wristwatch and contacts Bulma, saying that they're over at Dr. Gero's secret lab and that they need her in order to get the androids out and reprogram them so that they're good instead of hunting Goku. Goku at this point has already taken his medication and has just a very mild fever, which means he's still training. In either case, Bulma comes by and takes a good look at the androids, noticing that there's 3 of them. Trunks is kind of confused at the miscalculation of his, however, he knows that they're completely harmless in this stage. And so, Bulma takes the capsules of all 3 of them and takes all of them to her lab. Future Trunks now knows everything is safe, however, Vegeta tells Broly that there is a new threat arising and to be on very high alert, because at some point the city will be ransacked and that he's the only line of defense that is actually strong enough to take him down. Broly is weirded out, however, he agrees to Vegeta's offer. Meanwhile, Vegeta and Future Trunks go in the hyperbolic time chamber so that Vegeta could train his son up. And so, Broly is now the guard of the entire city, as he goes and skirmishes around until he finds the culprit, with the culprit being Cell. Cell is over there and absorbing people, and so Broly comes by and asks what is he doing. Cell replies that he's over here to collect some energy before he could go and find the androids so that he could absorb them. Broly says not today and starts powering up a blast so that he could destroy Cell there and then. However, Cell tanks it and then uses the very same double Sunday Broly used on Broly. We're continuing the series next time. While you wait for the next part, join the T23 Discord server with the vanity URL down in the description. Thank you for watching, and with that, Peace out.